Well, about the only thing to dislike about the Louisville Cardinals about this time of year, maybe their uniforms, I don't know. Other than that, they look pretty darn good. Welcome into the Sporting News Studios. I'm Tom Vandervoort. We are breaking down each and every game of this year's NCAA tournament thanks to UPS, the UPS Team Performance Index. And today we talk about the regional final, #1 in the region against #2 Duke against Louisville. Joining me now on the phone, our college basketball writer Mike DeCourcy. And Mike, you saw both these teams play tonight. How do you see this matchup?
Well, I think it's the first thing of note is that one of the things that's worked very well for Louisville in this tournament, their full court press. I think it's going to become a different element in this regional final. Duke has very good ball handlers. Quinn Cook had a pretty lousy game on Friday night. It was not his best basketball. He's a much better player than that. But I think if you look at him generally, you don't look at him as a point guard that you're going to press and turn over. I think Seth Curry is a very capable ball handler, and so is Rashid Suleiman. So I don't think we're going to see them try to really turn over Duke much, but I do think they're going to want to try to wear them down. Duke has basically 4 perimeter players that they'll play. They'll also play Tyler Thornton a lot. I think they might try to wear them down a little bit just by showing some pressure, making them advance the ball up the court, cut the shot clock time down, and maybe every now and then jump them hard to try to steal the ball. But for the most part, just sort of annoy them, try to wear them down, try to be the more physically fit team in the end. The problem with that particular element of the game, though, is that basically almost the entire Louisville backcourt is sick right now, either with a cold or perhaps a strep throat, exactly the exact diagnosis. You know, I'm not a physician and do not play one on television, nor do I play one at courtside. But there were various reports about how they felt and what they thought it was, but all of that being the case, and Louisville is a team that's very dependent on its conditioning and stamina. They are one of the best conditioned teams in college basketball. So if they don't have that advantage, it becomes a little bit problematic for them down the stretch.
How about specifically on offense? I look down at my UPS Team Performance Index numbers. Duke has a much better offensive index than Louisville, but the way the Cardinals are playing right now, I mean, they certainly look every bit as good when they have the ball in their hands.
What Duke has as an advantage is Ryan Kelly. What a magnificent shooter he is for a 6'11" player. They run a lot of ball screen action or dribble handoff action between Seth Curry and Ryan Kelly, and it really makes it difficult for defenses. They don't know who to play. You can switch that, but you're right away switching a guard onto a 6'11" guy who has great hands and can post. If you try to back off and don't guard the roll man, as happened tonight for Michigan State, Curry's going to punish you by making the shot. I mean, it really makes it difficult for defenses, and I think Louisville's going to face all those problems as well. If you've got well-executed screens, and Kelly's been setting them for years, so he knows exactly how to set them. If you've got well-executed screens, it makes it very difficult for Louisville to guard those plays, and I think that's the advantage that Duke has over on offense, not over on just Louisville, but everybody in the country. When you have a player like Kelly, he's just that unique. He had tonight an opportunity to play against a guy, Adrian Payne, who's 6'10" and is long and can make shots as well, but they weren't as effective in running similar plays because Kelly is just a superior shooter. You saw Payne get open shots today, unable to convert them. Kelly did not have a great day, but the threat of his jump shot was such that Michigan State honored it almost every time, and they let Seth Curry go off for 29 points.
Yeah, absolutely. And finally, how about Plumlee in the middle and Gorgui Dieng? Are those two going to be matched up, and how important is the work down low there?
They will be. Interestingly, these two teams played in the Bahamas in the Battle for Atlantis back in November around Thanksgiving. Gorgui Dieng had injured his wrist, I believe it was, in the game prior, so he did not play in that game. So this will be the first, even though the teams have played one another. This will be the first look for the two of them to go head-to-head. Dieng has been really spectacular defensively. Mason Plumlee, not as great in this tournament as perhaps he could be, especially in the later rounds. Today, for instance, just an okay game, a lot of foul trouble. Dieng didn't have a ton to do today because the guards were so dominant for Louisville against Oregon, but I think Zhang defensively has been spectacular in this tournament. His quickness, his speed, his awareness of the floor, he has been one of the best players in this tournament and easily the most underrated. I think I've said this before, Tom. Somebody's got to wake up and realize how well this kid's playing. This is a good opportunity for him. Plumlee made a lot of All-America teams. He did not make Sporting Newses. We didn't think he was consistent enough. By the way, we picked Curry over everybody else picking Mason Plumlee, and it looked pretty good tonight. I think this is a great matchup for the two of them. I would give the edge to Zhang. I think he's been that good, and I think that will help Louisville. I do have a feeling, though, my personal feeling, I kind of think Duke's getting through this game.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens. It's going to be certainly a great matchup in Indianapolis. Thanks so much, Mike. We'll be talking to you later.
You bet.